What is up, everyone? Welcome to another live stream here at fantasypoints.com. I'm John Hansen. Greg Ambrosius is with me because I am drafting out of the 7-hole in the NFFC's RotoWire Online Fantasy Championship, 12-team PPR. I drew the 7th pick. It is a beat John Hansen league, so people are literally looking to beat my ass, and God love them. Greg, we're going to kick this thing off in a moment. How are you this evening, sir?
I am doing great, and I'm telling you what, it's just red hot right now for fantasy football drafting. I mean, we are filling up leagues left and right. This is the 4th one today for the online championship. So $200,000 grand prize. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So anything that we should know about this 20 rounds, right?
20 rounds.
It's no fab involved. So it's pretty much a straight up high stakes league, right?
So it's third round reversal in this one. So again,
right.
We go 12-1 in round 3. That's a little twist. It just balances out every draft spot there. So, 20 rounds, pretty easy to do, but it'll go fast too. I mean, these get done in 90 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes. So be ready. That's why I'll help you out here. You don't have to announce every pick. You concentrate, John, on winning $200,000. All right.
No, I concentrate on just having actual draft in which I'm not scattered all over the place. So, you know what I mean? Like, not to make excuses, but it is tough, Greg. You know, I don't know if have you ever done that?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why it's been fun doing it with your guys every Thursday night, where I can kind of get in and talk about the draft strategies of other owners and stuff like that, where you guys can concentrate on your picks and winning it all. But no, it's been fantastic. These live streams, John, are the new thing, right? I mean, remember when Mock Draft Central was out there? You would look at the mocks of the first couple rounds and just love it. Man, we got paid leagues. This is $350 a team right here. I mean, this is better than any mock draft or any ADP. We're going to see the actual results. I mean, people are getting a free cheat sheet right here tonight in front of them on the draft board.
And this room, I don't know exactly who's in the room, but I know this. I know they're good.
Oh yeah, you got some heavy duty guys in this one, definitely. A couple of definitely fantasy points guys that this is their first one of the year, but there's some other guys. I mean, I know Team 10, he's probably got 40 of these in already, so be ready there. But yeah, a lot of these guys are veterans.
Bunch of ringers here. So let me ask you this, Greg. We're going to kick this thing off in literally 1 minute. I'm on the, actually, by the way, third round reversal. This is the first time I believe in my entire life that I've had third round reversal and also top 3 or 4 pick, like every time. So I kind of like in the middle here at 7.
Yeah.
That it really isn't affected by third round reversal.
Yeah. It doesn't affect you as much at 7, but trust me, team 12, he gets 12, 13, and 25. That's a pretty good start to the draft. My feeling is team 1's already got the first pick in round 1. Last thing he needs is the first pick in round 3. So that's why we do this.
Yeah. That's fair. I wanted to ask you as we kick the draft off here, and good luck to everybody out there drafting, looking to take me down. Yeah, good luck. But McCaffrey, how much change do you guys see in the ADP once the preseason games start and the hype begins? Because your ADP, we have it baked into our projections. Yep. We have the tool on the site. It is unbelievable. It is so good, Greg. We're updating it in real time. Like Michael Thomas's ADP went from 50 whatever to 70 in like a day.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, we see it move with good performances in preseason, injuries. You'll see it move. But when we get to the live events, oh my goodness, people go off the ADP and then it's a free for all. Okay, so pretty common start here. The first 5 running backs always go off the board. According to our ADP, they went right in that order: McCaffrey, Cook, Kamara, Elliott, and Henry. Devontae Adams, man, the people who got him at 18 when Rodgers was sitting out, you should turn yourself into the police. That was criminal. He's now the number 6 pick. So, John, you are on the clock here.
I'm on the clock now. A real true hardcore high stakes player would probably go Saquon here just for the knockout punch, but I can't do it. I love Jonathan Taylor. I really do, like a son. I'm not going to do that. There's one running back I'm all in on, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I remember one year I passed on McCaffrey because his ADP was 15 and I was at 7 and I kicked myself. I don't care, Greg. I'm going for the glory with Antonio Gibson, baby.
So what are you seeing in Gibson? They're talking about him being a 3-down back this year. He's going to be in that hurry up offense and such. Is that what you're buying into as well?
Oh, totally. And everyone is kind of understanding that JD McKissick is a really good outlet, check down guy and all that. But guess what? Antonio Gibson was a former college receiver.
Right.
They're going to really expand his role in the passing game. So he's going to be a volume guy, Greg. So, you know me, I love to play to win. I love to be aggressive. There's Taylor, goes off the board at 11. God, that was painful. Passing on Taylor. But, the vibes are just not great there, Greg.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked about Gibson last night. McKissick averaged 7 targets a game last year. So, if Gibson, he only had 37 receptions, I think, last year. Let's say he gets 55 and 450 yards, and he gets a couple of touchdowns because he had no TD receptions last year. All of a sudden, you're looking at 3 or 4 more points per game without the running increase as well. So I agree. Gibson's right now, his ADP in our online championship is 12 over the last week. He's definitely moving into the first round. So a bit of a reach by you, but not over too much.
Well, it is a reach, but isn't it also kind of the mindset you need to have? Like,
absolutely,
win it, or who cares about second, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Eckler's been moving up because people are putting their money where their mouth is with him. They feel good about him. But no, absolutely. You got to take the guy that you really believe is going to be a top 7 back at the end of the year. Forget about last year's stats, right? At the end of the year are the numbers that you want. So,
yep. Well, there's a good pick right here, Greg, because I was going to take Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
So I got hosed there by Team 9. Good job by Team 9.
Yep. So Team 10 goes Tyreek Hill and Diggs. It's first guy to go wide receiver, wide receiver. We'll see how many people go running back here. Taylor stays in the first round. Look at my Packers, Jones and Adams in the top 9. You got to be loving it. All right. 3 wide receivers in a row, and we're to you, John.
Yeah. Well, I could get a good receiver in round 3, although never know with this tough crowd.
Yep.
I don't want to reach. Najee Harris is there. Out there right now. I'm watching the Patriot game, so I haven't seen Harris. It's a tough call.
You're not getting any complaints from me for Harris.
What's that?
I'll tell you that. You're not getting any complaints from me for Harris. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. It's really tempting. But I'm going to go wide receiver here. I do like balance. I'm going to go with a guy that I totally believe is 100% legitimate, and I'm just taking Mr. Justin Jefferson.
Very nice.
I don't care about the ADP. I don't care about the ADP that much. Yeah, I love the sophomores. I'm very sophomoric, Greg.
I hear you. I do like Najee Harris an awful lot.
I don't really worry that much about ADP because when I've made mistakes, it's because I've been a slave to the ADP.
Yeah, right.
As I mentioned with McCaffrey, was it 2018, I believe. He was 15, right? And I had the 7th pick. Yeah. I'm like, it's a little too early, and I knew it was going to be great.
Yep.
And I regretted it all year. So I'm like, you know what? I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
And that's why I took Gibson. DK.
When you know they're not coming back to you, that's when you got to take the guy, right? You got to take your guy.
DK goes off the board here. So we got a decent number of wide receivers here, Greg. In the first
definitely. This is old school. We've been talking about running backs have been going 9-10 in the first round. We had 9 go off here right now. Taylor stayed in the first round. Like I said, Barkley at 13. He's been going 17 or 18 in recent online championships. So that's pretty healthy for him.
That's pretty damn good. We're talking second round for Saquon.
Yep.
In a high stakes league.
Yep.
That was a damn good pick, Greg. Don't you think?
Yeah, and in fact, I've seen Taylor and Barkley go to the same team this weekend or this week, and it's like, oh boy, if both of them live up to form, that's a great start.
Yeah. Well, you're a Wisconsin guy, so you love Jonathan Taylor.
Of course, he was fantastic in Wisconsin, and not just because he had a big offensive line. That guy was a track star, right? He was a New Jersey 100-meter high school state champion. He's got speed, he's got power. He did not look like Jonathan Taylor in the first 6-7 games last year. I don't know who that guy was.
Yeah.
But that
was a guy who didn't have a normal offseason, who didn't play in the preseason.
Right.
And a guy who just couldn't get, I kept screaming, please give him the ball. Let him get rolling here. The guy's got to get, some rhythm here with the O-line and all that. And then, of course, it eventually did happen.
Right. Absolutely. He did not. He looked confident at all last year. Look at the wide receivers are going off the board right now. 6 of the last 8. Darren Waller is the tight end. So pass catchers are going off the board here early.
I was gonna consider Waller.
I would think you would. Yep.
Because our fantasy points generate. J.K. Dobbins right in front. But I'm gonna go off my own damn cheat sheet here. And a lot of people are worried about this guy. I believe fully in his ability. His head coach on NFL radio a couple of days ago was calling him like, a stud and, elite and all that. I know the team's going to stink, but I'm a DeAndre Swift believer. So I'm bringing him on board here in round number 3. Greg, I'll live and die with this team right now because Antonio Gibson, Justin Jefferson, and DeAndre Swift, Greg, they are what I would call gurific.
Well, you got to pick a gurific team, definitely. Swift, just concerns me with this groin injury right now. I mean, is this guy who they wanted to not replace him, but they wanted to add to him in Detroit? It seemed like all offseason. Is there something about this guy that the coaching staff doesn't trust? Tell me, is there or not?
No, I think Dan Campbell is an old school guy. I mean, Anthony Lynn, that's another problem here.
Yeah.
So, full disclosure, probably a 52% chance that I kind of regret this pick, but I'm all about talent and pedigree. When I see a young, versatile, borderline elite talent, by the way, behind a good O-line, that is the strength of their team, where the quarterback can get in the ball. I'm in, Greg. I'm in. I'm not going to overthink it.
No. Plan forward. Look at the next gurific guy. I like it. This is fantastic because you're going off the ADP. You jumped 3 guys off the ADP, which you should when you feel good about these players. So I'm loving it. Little
DJ Moore.
In the first 2 rounds, there were only 3 teams that went running back, which kind of surprised me because, well, Kesenick likes to patent it. It's the Kesenick method. Start out running back, and then pound those wide receivers. But the wide receivers are moving up more as we're getting closer to opening day here, week 1.
And you notice I got involved in that, Greg. And now
Absolutely.
I'm not without what I think is a stud wide receiver 1. Granted, Jefferson is not totally proven, but I know Darisaw, the left tackle for the Vikings, is going to basically miss the entire preseason, but they're hoping he can play week 1. With better protection. We all know Kirky will slice it apart, basically, right? So this O-line in Minnesota, it's been a work in progress. They have all number 1 and number 2 picks. They should be much better in pass pro now with Darisaw at left tackle. And we saw what Jefferson did. That was not a mirage, Greg. No. That was for reals.
No. That guy was for real last year. And that's why I'm looking forward to Jamar Chase, because Chase was the better wide receiver at LSU. And Jefferson looked unstoppable last year. I mean, he could get open. The separation was elite. I mean, he looked like Devontae Adams out there separating from cornerbacks and great hands. I'm not a Vikings fan. I'm a Packers fan. So I don't like to see them take one on us.
We got some good receivers now, Greg.
I know.
Say what you want about the Vikings. They do draft pretty damn well overall.
Definitely. It's what bothers me. Thankfully,
you guys are fine. You're Packers. You're, number 1 seed in the playoffs the last 2 years. You're fine. Stop complaining, Greg. Come on now.
I'm not complaining. We got one more good year with Rodgers, and I think it's the Love era. As much as I love Rodgers, I think they're over on the salary cap by so much next year.
Yep. I think they're going to sign Devontae and let Aaron go.
I think they will too. I will too. And people are like, oh, why would he sign when Rodgers isn't there? I think Love is going to be okay. I mean, people are talking about Love and they haven't even seen any tape on the guy. I think he's going to be fine, and I trust the Packers scouts.
Well, he is a little rough around the edges. He definitely needs some improvement, but he's obviously getting a lot of practice and learning time here. But physically, our Greg Cosell was pretty damn high on him. I talked with a couple of guys, like our friend Fran Duffy from PhiladelphiaEagles.com. He was all about that talent. So, this guy, I love how people throw players under the bus.
I know.
For no reason. I mean, give the guy a chance here, people.
Absolutely. And in fact, in the fantasy space, a lot of guys are throwing him under the bus, and they haven't seen him, John. They haven't watched much tape about him. If you watch his sophomore year tape, he's got a little Mahomes in him.
Absolutely.
He can definitely do it. In the junior year, he tried to fit in too many tight windows and he had a lot of interceptions, and they can correct that. So we'll
Yep.
see. I hope he sits on the bench for another year or two, but away we go. All right. So Mahomes is the first quarterback. He goes off at 39. That's kind of late for him. You can say that's good value, but a lot of people don't want to take a quarterback that early. What do you think about Pitts as the third tight end going off at pick 40?
That's boy, that's Team 4
aggressive.
Rust. That I believe he is our guy.
He is.
Who's a big listener, and he's playing to win. He's trying to kick us all in the you know what.
All right, you are up, sir.
Cooper Kupp. Well, Greg, this decision's been made for me.
Oh wow, that easy.
Already have an RB1, an RB2. I've got a wide out. I mean, BPA. I mean, this absolutely positively must be done. They literally gave me no choice.
There you go. He fell way too far for you. Let me see what his.
It's got to be done. Georgie Kittle.
That's right. I like it.
Destroyed my season in my number one league last year, the ACI. So you see that? You don't hold a grudge.
Absolutely. His ADP is 33. You got him at 43. So
now, did I make up value-wise for
absolutely
reaching on Gibson and Jefferson?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, so far, so damn good here, Greg. I'm looking terrific against a good field, and this is a good field. There's some.
Oh, absolutely.
How about Javonte Williams going first pick of round 4?
Wow. We didn't even talk about that. What do you think is the carry share with him and Gordon? And do you think Gordon is still on the roster week 1?
I think he'll be on the roster.
I do too.
Yeah. He's really good in pass pro, so they're going to use him for that early on. And I'd say I would give Javonte Williams 65% of the carries at the end of the season between the two.
Yeah. I mean, they only have like Mike Boone there, right? So they can't get rid of.
They got Royce Freeman to it still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they do like Boone. They do like Boone. Remember when Royce Freeman was a thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I was not at all.
He had the size. I thought he was going to be a good NFL back, but apparently not.
These guys will trick you. You know, I look for special qualities, and there was literally none.
He was big. It was big.
Now I just saw a ball in the Patriots game thrown. I'm like, who's 17? Christian Wilkerson. Wasn't he? Not even really on my radar.
No.
He is a rookie. Looks like second-year player, actually. Okay. Well, they're playing some low-end guys here in this Patriot football team game.
After not having preseason games last year, I am a proponent. We don't need 4 preseason games, but thank God we've got a few preseason games, right? I mean, we just went in from training camp reports to week 1 last year.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I kind of liked it a little.
Yeah.
In some regard, because it was less work.
Yeah.
But it was kind of brutal because I get so much from the preseason. Like that's where I kind of form my vibes and all that.
Right. All right, we got 2 quarterbacks off the board. Josh Allen goes to Team 10. Again, Team 10 is a veteran of these. Starts out 3 wide receivers, Darrell Henderson, and then Josh Allen.
Now, there's my guy. Damn it. That would have been a gift if Ayuk fell to me. Do you find that these real savvy, high-stakes people are doing a little bit more into quarterback lately?
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of guys do wait off, but some of these quarterbacks have been falling further than they have. I mean, again, Mahomes, he's usually going 30, 31, so 39 there. Let me just see what Josh Allen, he seems a little low there too. 44, he's usually off the board. So would he go here? 52. So I think they're looking at it and saying, I'm not passing up this value.
Gotcha. Well, I'm on the clock here again, and I'm looking here at the BPA. Josh Jacobs. It's tempting. It's tempting here. 5th round, Greg, for Josh Jacobs. Can we forgive him for that damn Instagram post, though?
I think people are worried about the workload there.
What's that?
People are worried about the workload there.
Yeah. That's tempting though, man. Well, nah. I'm gonna balance out the squad. I love balance.
Yep.
I love being horrific. I love Chase Claypool. But despite the reports that he's struggling to game separation, I'm taking the guy who was better
There you
than my other
go.
guy
I like it.
at
I like it.
LSU in Jamar Chase.
You got your LSU teammates there, Jefferson and Chase.
And wow. See, that's early for Judy, Greg. He just goes off the board. I love Judy, man, but
Yeah.
that was a little early.
I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I mean, that one game where he had 5 drops, he kept looking at his hands like, why are you failing me?
Yeah, I think they were failing him because he was frustrated with Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Because Judy didn't, you know, we work with people who really study college tape for a reason. You know, when Nelson Aguilar was the #1 pick, we're like, you know, he had a lot of double catches on tape. Hands are going to be a problem. And guess what? They've been a problem. Not last year. Judy didn't have that problem. So I chalk it up to rookie year, pandemic, no off season, and craptastic quarterback play.
Right. No combination with his quarterback at all. No synergy there. So, yeah, I think the talent is there. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. Did he go ahead of Cortland Sutton? I believe so, huh?
So what did you think of Josh Jacobs there? I mean, pretty damn good value.
It is, but I think Chase balances out your team better. I think starting out 2-2 and a tight end there, I think that's got some good synergy. You would have had to be chasing wide receivers for a little bit there. So
I'm a synergy guy, Greg. You know me. I love balance, baby.
I like the balance too. So I think Chase helps this team better than Jacobs would have.
Gotcha. I'm going to, unlike previous drafts where I'm too busy talking, because it's a little bit more formal or informal. I'm just going to queue up some guys here. You got to queue up players, right?
Absolutely. You got to have them waiting there for you. Let me ask you about one guy. We've been talking about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he's been actually going towards the front of the second round. He went 24 here. Do you think there's a chance for a bounce back for him with this great offense?
Well, I think he'll be a lot better. Will he bounce back to where we thought he would be last year as a RB1 and arguably a top 12 pick? That I don't know about because he was a little shaky in pass protection and all that. I do like him to do well.
Me too.
My problem is he's a little overvalued. Like he's getting a lot of love.
Well, I think, you know, they gave it to him at the goal line last year. He just couldn't get it over the goal line.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. So I'm not sure they'll do much of that. I will say, having worked for a year with Brian Westbrook, he is Andy Reid. Always a little hesitant to put too much on a rookie. Look how great Westbrook was. He didn't do crap his rookie year. Like he toiled there for a while, you know, for a couple of years before he was the guy. You know, they had Correll Buckhalter and Deuce Staley. He was a returner. So it's absolutely not over with Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I think he can get more catches this year, and I think he will score more from the goal line. I think the opportunities are there. So, but he's got 24 here, I think was very good value. I have seen him be going about 13, 14 recently. And I'm going to be interested to see if somehow he finds the first round by the time we get to Las Vegas.
Well, there's Julio Jones. So you guys still doing all your in-person drafts this year?
We are. We'll be at the Stewart Hotel in New York City on September 3rd and 4th. We have a $2,500 draft called the Super. That's going to be broadcast live on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio on Friday night, September 3rd. And then I'm at the Bellagio both weekends. And honestly, we have record attendance in Las Vegas right now. I hope a lot of people don't pull back on their travel plans because of what's happened in the last couple of weeks. But we are going to have huge 40+ drafts out there. So it's going to be cool.
That's awesome. So business is booming, right?
Best ever. I mean, this is going to be a record year for us. You can just feel people are excited about football, and it's going to be by far a record year for the NFFC. This is our 18th year, John. I've been doing this 18 years.
Wow. Well, I'm excited for my next pick because I think it has to be done, even though this guy, I tell you what, this is, oh no, my guy just went. Never mind. Damn it. Lamar. Oh, I thought I was getting Lamar. I missed that.
Oh, that would have been a sweet pick right there.
Oh man, that would have been nice. Now I'm in a little bit of a weird spot, honestly.
Good thing you got guys queued up.
Oh, I do. I'm waiting here. It's just a question. I mean, it's not like I'm struggling who to pick or who I like right now. I'm struggling like, who am I going to overpay for, basically? you know, I could look at Mr. Dak Prescott.
Better do it
Boy, I'm
soon.
gonna I'm gonna go with a guy that I love. And even though I already took a Niner, I
Ah,
love Debo to bounce back. It's a
couldn't
little
get
bit of an
Ayuk, so
overpay
you
though
went with
again.
Debo, right?
What's that?
You couldn't get Ayuk, so you went with Debo.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I have them ranked neck and neck.
Yeah. I mean, Debo, when he was healthy last year, gee whiz, he can do so much in the jet sweep and in the get the ball and take the ball to the house. I like him an awful lot. I like both of those guys an awful lot this year.
Well, Debo was my guy his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually predicted to him on the Sirius XM show that he would be drafted by the Niners.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I cheated because Kyle Shanahan and the staff had him at the Senior Bowl.
Okay. Yeah.
And he had a great week at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
He proved a lot of things at that Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Red zone dominance, which we really haven't seen, by the way, in the NFL. A couple of other things. So I really liked him. And then, I just lost my camera lens. It's okay. It's no problem. And I knew he was a good fit. They were looking for a physical receiver, and boom, it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you see what just happened to me? This is what I was just explaining to Ben. There's always something, right? So I get this fancy camera with a lens, and I get a zoom with wide angle lens to add to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't come with the camera. So it comes with this little strip that you put on the piece, and then you affix it to the camera, and it's got a little sticky thing. Well, I've had the camera here for a couple of months. Just like 20 minutes before the damn thing falls off. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So then of course I text my wife, do you have any glue? Then of course she does something that wasn't helpful. And I'm like, oh, well, hopefully we get through it. Nope. It just fell. But who cares?
You need Gorilla glue, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, exactly. One of those glues that
Prescott went right after you. So he was thinking the same thing as you there.
Oh, Prescott did go. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me queue up some more guys here.
Yeah.
Quarterback is so damn deep. That's a battle. That's a struggle. The depth is so good, but it causes some great assets like Lamar Jackson to fall. So I do like that 6th round.
Right.
That's kind of the best of both worlds.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, Murray, Jackson, and Prescott in the 6th round, those are all tier 1, tier 2 guys actually after Mahomes, but really good value at that point. You've hit your wide receivers, you hit your running back. Okay, round 6, I'll take a quarterback here, especially an elite one like that.
It's unbelievable that these players are going off. They're like literally going off the board in order of my queue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be up in a moment here again. I'm going to blow your mind with my pick if I don't get sniped here by teammate Greg.
Okay.
I probably just gave it away, but
I'll be in favor of it. It sounds like.
I hate to be Mr. Overpay. I like to
get your guys. Get your guys.
Yeah. Right. I mean, what's worse in a high stakes league? Being too conservative and not going to get your guys, or overpaying?
No, being too conservative, definitely.
Okay.
Being too married to somebody else's ADP, because again, our ADPs are by paid leagues, so you trust them, but you're relying on somebody else's rankings. So no, you got to go get your guys. I mean, does it ever end the year with the ADP exactly, the value exactly? Of course not. Guys emerge, guys take off, guys fall. So definitely.
Well, there we go. There's Chark. Yeah, I'm starting to struggle a little bit with Chark. All right, well, I'm on the clock. I've got my tight end. I've got 3 nice receivers here. I mean, it actually isn't the greatest trio of all time, but I mean, I like each player individually.
Kittle's like a wide receiver 1 as well.
That's true. But I'm going to take a guy that, hey, look, I may be wrong here, but I freaking love this dude. Now, full disclosure, I interviewed him twice. I thought he was an amazing young man, but I think he's going to catch some balls here, Greg.
I was thinking a different Packer, but I'll take this one. The quad master, AJ Dillon.
How many catches is he going to get? Because every time I talk to someone and check in the last few weeks, even earlier,
been working on
he's
his
doing
hands.
work in the passing game.
Right.
If he catches 26 balls, Greg, I think that's big.
I think he's going to catch more than that, John. And I agree with you. They've been talking about it. He worked all off season on it. They've been working in training camp on it. They've been doing these routes where he comes out of the backfield there. Okay, if they get him the ball there on the run, who's tackling him? Who wants to tackle him at that point?
Exactly.
So Greg, they've been doing a lot of those, and they did that with Jamal Williams a lot of times too, where he'd go out in that left or right flat and he'd hit him over there. Good 10-yard gain. I do think Dillon is going to be solid this year.
I asked him probably 12 questions in 2 different interviews, one in person at the combine, one on the radio. And I think 7 of the questions were related to his receiving. So, I was obsessed with that. And I said, look, we need you to not get pulled off the field here. And he was like, no, I'm a much better receiver than I get credit for. They don't throw at Boston College. I've heard that a million times. Leonard Fournette told me the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Of course, his hands were a little stone-like, but still a pretty good receiver for a big man. Man, if he catches 30 balls, Greg, woo boy.
I'm predicting 35 from him. I really am. I think that he's going to get some in that offense now.
So that was a good pick then by your standards.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he probably wasn't coming back to me.
No, probably not. Yesterday he tweeted out that he's going to play fantasy football, and who did he take? He tagged Matthew Berry, Stephania Bell, and such. So you got to love
he's got to get me involved there. No. That's messed up here.
I know, but that's what he did. At least he's asking for help somewhere. So I appreciated that. A guy in training camp saying he's got to play fantasy football this year.
I'm going to tweet him. I'm going to have to tweet him. Screw this.
Yeah.
You don't want to seem like a beggar, though. I mean, like, if you don't want our help,
he's reaching out for help. All right. Anybody like in this round that surprised you? Michael Carter at the end of the last round, Trey Sermon. Anybody here that's like, wow, someone's really going for this guy? I mean, got Mostert and Sermon in this round.
Yeah, well, it was those two, Greg. I had Sermon and Devontae Smith queued up.
Okay.
Ballsy pick, Sermon, but 7th round, Team 12 wasn't going to get a crack at him.
Yep.
Like, no chance. And Team 12 was smart because if Sermon hits, and I think he will, now you've got that RB2 despite going with 4 straight wide receivers and a tight end.
Right.
It's a good job.
Yep. If he hits.
A lock.
Yep. Yeah. So again, our guys, they're not afraid to do a tight end, running back, and then 4 wide receivers. I couldn't do it. I probably don't have the balls for it. I don't have it. But in a high dollar like this guy's willing to do it. And I give him all the props.
Well, we're old school here.
I know it.
AKA old.
Yep. Absolutely. That's why these guys are better than me, because they take these chances. I'm more conservative when it comes to my drafting.
Well, my famous story, not that it's that famous, but I don't know if you know it. I've said it a million times, but my first pick ever was Walter Payton.
Oh, yeah.
In 1987, and it was a terrible pick.
Yeah.
Granted, I was just introduced to the concept of fantasy football 1 hour before the draft. But at that point, that's when I made the decision. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to overcorrect. I'm only going for young ascending guys.
Yep.
In fact, Greg, we did have Sterling Sharp, my old coworker, on the show about 6 weeks ago, back when I worked with him at NFL Films. He did not believe this story, but it is 100% true.
Yeah.
In 1989, go look at his numbers in 88 as a rookie. I think he had like 50 grabs for like 704 touchdowns or something, 3. I took him at 11 overall.
Really?
And he had 1,400 yards.
Yeah. Don Mikowski, you're 89, right?
That was, I think it was literally, it's probably the best draft pick I've ever made.
Yeah.
To this day, like, how do you top that?
Yeah. Oh, you saw the ascending value for him. All right. You are up now in round 8. A little run on tight ends, a little Tom Brady action there.
I love taking my guys though. I'm getting another one right here. One of my top breakout players, a wide receiver.
That's
Mr.
who you said
Darnell
this
Mooney.
week, right? He's your breakout. Oh, there was Rodgers. I was just going to say you were one of 5 teams without a quarterback right now.
It wasn't that hard for me to pass on Rodgers.
Oh,
No
that hurts,
offense,
John.
Greg.
That hurts. That hurts.
I will say, though, it did occur to me about 2 weeks ago, and I've given him a little love in the draft plan article. I've actually drafted him with one of the fake teams I draft. He does kind of stand out. I'm like, I think we're kind of forgetting about Rodgers again. We got distracted by the entire off season. Right. I still think he's good. He's pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. And LaFleur just makes him good. He does. He has got that offense so quick. The jet sweeps, the movement, just matching up the players at the right spot. Devontae Adams, I think LaFleur has a lot to do with Rodgers' success. But Rodgers is phenomenal, but I think LaFleur is making him much better. I mean, he went off.
Well, the scheme, Greg, the scheme, man, absolutely. It's good. And the difference was Aaron Rodgers clearly embraced the scheme.
Correct.
You could forget all the offseason narrative on Rodgers in 2020 because that was all obviously going off of 2019, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you're a flip-flopper. No, we're just going off the reality. He sucked in 2019.
He did. And that's why Goody shouldn't be criticized for taking a quarterback. He was 38 years old, and he wasn't that good in 2018, 2019. He was definitely better in 2019 than 2018 when he was just defying McCarthy on every call and just freelancing. But
yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was total freelancing in 2018. He did not go with the plays that were called, and he was just freelancing out there.
Exactly. And of course, because we work with Greg Cosell, we see this, we know this. Like McCarthy's calling the plays.
Yep.
They're there.
Yep.
And he's not pulling the trigger and he's spinning out and freelancing.
Correct. That's exactly what he did in 2018. He got McCarthy fired, which is what he wanted.
McCarthy has got a little swag about him these days, by the way.
Who's that?
McCarthy.
Oh, I know he does.
Doesn't he, though?
He's coming off a good offensive season. He feels like he's got some confidence now. I agree with you. But
I was at his first press conference, I believe, other than when he was announced as a hire at the Combine. And he was he was in a great damn mood, man. I'm like, wow, this guy's really. Yeah.
He was living in Green Bay for the last year, going to his kids' basketball games and stuff like that, praying to get another shot in the NFL. I wasn't sure he was going to get one.
Yeah, it's no luck. When you get a little older.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's time, Greg.
I think it's time too.
I think it's time. And I'm going to go with one of our favorite values, one of our real nice targets, and lock it down.
There you go. I like it.
A lot of weapons there in Los Angeles. So right now, I wouldn't say I'm full optimal mode of but I'm about 85% that, because I'm still kind of talking to you. So, but otherwise, I really like this team here. I mean, I'm a little surprised against this competition that I'm actually getting a little lucky in terms of how the draft board flows. You really do need luck, Greg. I mean, absolutely. I don't care how good you are. There are drafts where it just doesn't flow for you,
There are drafts where the guy in front of you snipes you and the guy behind you snipes you every time, right? And you know how that's feeling. And then you start panicking. Let me ask you about Herbert or Stafford. Toss up at all or not?
Yeah, I'm not that high on Herbert, which scares me. But, he did level off last year. It is a new offense. I'm not totally sold on Lombardi, but man, they have so much size at receiver.
Yep.
He's so damn physically gifted.
Yep.
They did shore up the offensive line. Yep. That's a real tough one. I don't know if he's going to run though. He did stop running last year, but if he runs for 200, 170 and 3-4 touchdowns, he's going to come through. Stafford, I think Stafford's got the better floor. I would go with Herbert for the ceiling, but it's close because Stafford could throw he could really click and he could throw 39 touchdown passes this year.
Yeah. Tom and I took Herbert in the FSGA draft. That was a 14-teamer. I like his upside. I mean, I just think, and again, good left tackle they drafted, so he's going to have a little more protection. He doesn't run like scramble. If it does break down in the pocket, he's just very good at stepping up and getting a few yards that way and such. Near the goal line too, he's able to step up. So I do like Herbert. I would probably pick Herbert above Stafford, but I do like Stafford an awful lot. He's got all the weapons there. He's got the offensive mind there, McVay, to call the right plays. I think Stafford's going to have a good year.
So I took Stafford. He's our QB9. I actually took him over Brady.
No, Brady went already.
Oh, did. Okay, good. So maybe I checked on that, I guess. But who's the sexier pick between these non-running quarterbacks, Stafford or Brady? Because in my mind, it's rare when a guy like those two, I could use the word sexy, but Brady's so loaded. Like both guys could throw 40.
Nah, Stafford's a sexier pick, I think. Okay. I just think the upside there. I mean, this guy is a dynamic quarterback who has just been in a rough system, can't keep his wide receivers healthy, and he's just a gamer. He goes out there all the time. I think Stafford's going to end the year with better numbers than Brady.
Our guy Kaplan was out there training camp, 4 days ago, and he calls me up, and he's like on the road and, gives me all the nuggets that he gets, and I feed him right into fantasypoints.com, and good vibes on Stafford.
Yeah.
Like throwing it like real well.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what they do when you have the cannon of Stafford, the ability to process information better than Goff stinks. Yeah. He just stinks. Yeah. Like he throws the ball well. I mean, he's a gifted thrower of the football and all that. Obviously he's a good athlete, but compared to the other quarterbacks in the league, he stinks.
Are they going to be able to run the ball well enough with Henderson? I mean, losing Akers was a big piece, I thought.
Yeah. I think Darrell Henderson's a pretty good back. I mean, he was good last year, but they can't rely on him. So he's not going to get more than 14, 16 carries every week. So
not big enough. Yep.
Yeah. He's a smaller guy. So somebody else is going to have to step in.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a concern.
Yeah.
They do have great continuity on the O-line. Thank God for Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah.
Just hope that they can stay healthy. They were good last year. I thought they were very good.
Absolutely.
Because the year before they were not good.
Yeah.
And that was a concern. Mecole Hardman off the board. There's some good values here at wide receiver.
Yeah. Well, you could have handcuffed Jamal Williams.
I was about ready to, and I just got screwed.
I do like Jamal there. We talked about him.
I love him there.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe I should have taken him in the 9th.
No, I like Stafford.
I may have been able to get him there in the 9th. All right.
Yeah, you might have. Yep.
Well, running back. See, that was the pick of this draft. Jamal Williams. Granted, he's not a bell cow, but running back officially fell off a cliff.
Yeah, that would have been a nice handcuff.
All right. Well, got some guys queued up here. I've got my quarterback. I'm going to go, believe it or not, with a wide receiver that I normally hate, but I wasn't buying last year on the heels of a breakout, but I'm buying now as my wide receiver 5. I think this is a nice little value.
Yeah. Pretty safe pick, I think there. Gets you a good 10, 12 points every game. Not a real low floor at all, I think.
Yeah, but man, Jamal Williams, that would have been nice.
There's my man, Bobby Tunyon, going way too late. I'm sorry. He's going to be good this year.
I joked about 3 years ago, he made a big play and no one, like you, probably didn't know who he was.
Yeah, it's a Seattle game probably, right? On the road.
And I was joking around on Twitter
who he was
with my nicknames. I was like, Bobby Tunyon out there bowling. And just joking, like, who the hell's Robert Tunyon?
Yep. Right.
And then I found out last year that once I found out that Aaron calls him Bobby, I'm like, oh, Aaron likes him.
Yep. He worked out with Kittle in the offseason last year, and he just came back as a new guy. And in training camp right now, they said he hasn't dropped anything. He's just been so reliable. I know why he's falling in fantasy drafts, because people don't think he's going to score 11 touchdowns again. I get it.
Yeah, because he doesn't get the volume. That's fair.
It's fair, absolutely.
But he was damn good in the red zone. Remember that Atlanta game? I took a video, a screenshot, and I tweeted it. Aaron Jones by his lonesome, and there were literally like 5 guys around Tunyon.
Yeah.
And Aaron Jones is on the left side running into the end zone by himself, and there's like 4 or 5 guys near Tunyon in the middle of the end zone.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, he went off as TD tight end 11 here. I think that's just good value. All right. Team 11 took his first quarterback, Joe Burrow. Interesting.
It's a little risky.
So everybody's got a quarterback except for team 1 has gone 10 rounds without a quarterback.
Well, my options are, somewhat limited. What do you think about going 2 QBs?
Yeah, someone's going to do it pretty soon. That's what I was just pointing out, that someone's going to do it pretty soon.
Yeah. Because there's a guy on the board here. I'm just going to do it. I mean, I don't know why you pass on it at this point. Round 11, Greg?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a couple other guys are going to be going 2 quarterbacks here too, and punish team 1 for waiting so long. So there you go, team 1.
I mean, I just got Jalen Hurts like 125 overall.
Yeah. Let me see what.
Though his ADP is on the rise, right? I think it's 95 now.
Yep.
Still pretty good value.
Absolutely.
What's weird about this draft is the flow of the draft is literally making picks for me, which I love, by the way.
Well, that's why you put guys in your queue, and when you come back and you still got 5 there, you're in good shape, right? When they're all wiped out, then you got a question.
Yes. But man, oh man, did running back dry up or what?
Yeah.
Some viable guys, but I mean, how excited? I know it's 11th round, but I mean, how excited are you going to, be about taking some of these dudes? I don't want to name the names here, but most of these guys have ADPs of like 150 plus, and guys who have a chance are going to get a role. Like Lindsey was one of them.
Yeah.
Like he just went off the board.
Yeah. And David Johnson had gone before you had a chance to pick. I mean, seems like an 11th round. Okay, there's some value there if he's the RB1 there. I'm
going to regret it. That damn Hurts pick though, if he flops and my guy Fields kicks ass, I will say that. But I could not pass on Jalen Hurts there.
No, it's good value. It's good value there. You do need a little more running backs. I do agree with that. Hopefully you can find some here in the later rounds.
Well, all the numbers people, they'd probably look at my squad and say, you're fine.
That running back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as DeAndre Swift stays healthy.
Yeah, that Jamal Williams one, that was a crusher. Now, if I could go back in time, I'd have taken him in the night. I felt the pressure to not get pinched at quarterback. Yeah. So I did it, but damn, that was probably a mistake.
Yeah. Well, there were 2 guys behind you that didn't have a quarterback. It would have been tough for both Herbert and Stafford to come. You could have taken Hurts, I guess, then.
Right.
So you did
I probably would have taken Hurts a round earlier, or I probably would have taken him at 9.
Yeah. I mean, Jamal Williams, let's see, he went at 113. Yeah, his ADP is right around 112, 110. So,
but
he had a chance to come back.
It was like 160 in March, and I said it'll be 100 by August 30th.
Right. That's what
we're close.
We talked about him on the show last night. I said he will be in the top 100 by the time we get to our live events. Definitely.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Team 1 still does not take a quarterback through 12 rounds. So
I am a little surprised McKissick just went, because that screwed me as well.
So much for your handcuffs.
Yeah. Jeez, there's Damian Williams was in my queue. All right, now I'm getting screwed here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you need some depth.
Well, now I'm really throwing some darts at running back. Doable though. There's a couple guys here who could do something. There's one guy. Let me see if he's available. He's such a tease. Oh, he's gone already. Whoa. Where is he? I don't want to say the name in case there he is. Rashad Penny went to team 9.
Wow.
In the 10th.
That's
wow.
Crazy went that early.
Well, I'm going to go. I mean, there's no running back that's a viable pick right here. Just isn't.
You're going to need one.
Yeah. I'm just going to take a couple stash and hope guys here, Greg. I mean, there's there's no legitimate running back to take. I mean, unless you want, I guess there are. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let me just get a solid depth guy right here and go with this guy. Just for a little support. Support. You know, he'll catch 50 balls, Greg.
That adds up, right? There's another guy that in Tampa that could do the same thing, right?
And here's the thing. Mac Jones is starting more than half their games.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones will check it down to
definitely.
James White.
Yeah.
I like James White on that Thursday game last year. He was my Thursday night special. I outlined how everything was going to go. And I was exactly right about everything, except James White actually doing something. Because Mr. Dirtball, Cam Newton, kept throwing him dirt balls and just brutal. Like it was like a joke, Cam trying to get the ball to James White. What do you think of the Trey Lance ADP?
Well, our guys are taking them higher. And we had a guy on our show the other day said, I guarantee you the national champion in your contests are going to have Trey Lance on their roster. I'm like, really? I think he's the breakout guy. Now he's starting to go higher and higher than a breakout star for a guy who probably won't start the season as a starting QB. Yeah. I mean, 12th round is pretty high right now. Let me look for his ADP, but I think a lot of our guys are convinced that he is that breakout that's going to lead teams to titles late in the season.
Well, I am if he plays. I'm just not convinced he's going to play like week 3 or something because Jimmy Garoppolo, I felt all off season, will be pushed a la Alex Smith with Mahomes, have his best season. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, if they're winning and because Jimmy G can run that offense very well.
Right.
So if they're winning and he's running the offense well, they're not going to put in Lance. Of course, if they're not, that changes things. And if he gets hurt, goodbye, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, once they go to Lance, then it's all Lance. Sterling Shepard, my guy, off the board. Nice little cheap 50, 60 catches.
Yeah, Lance's ADP is 134, so he actually went a little bit lower here, 141, but he's going in the 12th round. So yeah. All right, well, little run on QBs, team one.
Yeah, well, I'm already good here. I'm going to go with an upside tight end 2 and very connected guy up there told me on the radio yesterday that, and this guy is not a hot take guy at all. Mm-hmm. He basically said he thinks the passing game is going to be built around Jonnu.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Hunter Henry's going to be the inline guy. Jonnu's going to be the move guy. The Aaron Hernandez, if you will.
On the field, not off the field.
Go out and sign the guy, pay him top 5 money, and prior, they're gonna. Josh McDaniels is going to utilize this guy.
So, do you think Cam is the quarterback all year long or not?
No, I don't. No. I think Cam will. Obviously, what's tricky about it is if they can kind of hide Cam, run the ball, they're going to have a good running game. The offensive line is top 5. Yeah. The defense is loaded. Stephon Gilmore will be a question. That's the only question, really. They're going to have a good defense, good O-line, should have a good running game. And that's an environment where Cam can stick in there and produce wins.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but Cam is just slightly improved is pretty much how it's been explained to me this year. He's better, but he's still, scattershot with the accuracy.
Right. There was Gio. He was an option I thought you could consider as well. I mean, Brady loves.
I just, if Mac Jones is a guy, let's say, God forbid, Cam was out all year and Mac Jones is your starter. I think James White's catching 60.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this is not best ball, so
yeah,
he's just a desperation starter.
Yeah, no, a guy that if you have to use him and he can get you 8 to 12 is still valuable on your roster, no doubt.
And that was a lost year for him last year. Obviously the tragedy with his family.
Yeah.
With the tragedy known as Cam Newton, the tragedy known as, oh my God, I got to play without Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. All right. Team one did take a starting quarterback.
Kirky.
Kirk. And he is not vaccinated, nor will he get vaccinated.
Do you like that?
No.
Yeah.
No. I do not want my quarterback who in close contact 3 days out of the game could be set down for 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. I view these guys as being, now you're more injury prone or
Absolutely.
injury prone.
Absolutely.
Because the chances of them missing time are high.
Very, very high. Yeah. No. He would be a no draft for me because of that principle, and not on a moral principle. I just think he's going to be within close contact of somebody at some point during this season. It already happened during training camp.
Yep. And I was on a call with the NFL this week due to my DirecTV work. You know, I've got to be involved with the NFL and sit in on these calls and on things like player safety, concussions, and all that. Yeah. Here's the difference between the unvaccinated and the vaccinated. The unvaccinated people, they have to wear a mask at all times while in the facility.
Yep.
Daily testing.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can get a false positive at any time you're out for like 10 days.
Yeah.
Travel restrictions, quarantine requirements, may not interact with family, friends during travel. You can't even use the steam room.
Really?
Right. Come on now. Fully vaccinated people, though, no masks, no daily testing, no travel restrictions, no quarantine after exposure. I mean, it's a lot.
Why would you want to have daily testing? To say, yeah, I'll take the daily testing every day. You've been tested. I've been tested. I don't want to do that every day. No way.
It makes very, very, very little sense.
Yeah.
But
just get one shot and be done with all that.
But, personal freedom.
He's got it. He's got it. And that's why I'm not drafting him, I guess. But
I've actually met Kirky. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a little tense. And maybe I'd be probably more tense if I was under his scrutiny, but
yeah,
I felt there was something off with him. But I mean, overall, nice guy, nice and friendly, you know.
Yeah.
Crap. Here I am talking. And all right. Well, I got a couple guys queued up here. Well, I mean, there's one running back who's like a stash and hope guy who'll have some value, probably have more value than James White, honestly. Let me do a quick scan to see if I'm not missing anyone. I don't like it when the good names are buried on the list. That's I'm not a fan of that. So just doing some due diligence here. Oh, Le'Veon Bell's available, Greg.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he is.
Shocking here.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's one of the good names that are buried, I'm sure.
I'll do it. Darryl with one L at the end.
He's the number 2 there in a high-powered offense.
Could he be the goal line back when they want to run short yardage?
Yep. I'm not predicting that. I don't want it to happen, but it could happen.
Thought that was a pretty decent option at this point.
So we do have team defense special teams, and we do have team kicker this year in all of our NFFC drafts. And as I was saying to Tom the other day, with Lutz getting hurt, I'm sure glad we got team kicker, because you'd have all these people who drafted early all upset because they had one kicker and now they don't have a kicker. And
yeah, so makes sense.
Team kicker. Yeah. I mean, you know, we did it because of COVID last year, because you didn't want to carry one kicker and then have them get COVID and not have any kicker. And it opens up a roster spot. You really only need one kicker now, right? If you have team kicker, you know you're guaranteed of having a kicker for that Sunday. So
yeah,
it gives you an open roster spot. So I think it's better for the players to have just the team kicker. So
could you imagine having to roster 2 kickers?
That's what you had to do in the past, kind of, just in case one got hurt on a Saturday. We had seen it before we had our last fab. Now you're getting a 0. So people were rostering 2 kickers. Now, we don't want that. That's not what fantasy football is all about. There's no skill in that, is there?
No. I actually retired from kicker analysis, Greg. I don't know if you got wind of that.
Did you?
Yeah, and I'm kidding, but yeah, I did. I'm like, you know what? Something's got to go. Kickers, you're out.
You're out.
Our guy, Tom Simons, who actually Tom Simons is a name that you may or may not know, but he has actually worked for me since 1996.
Wow,
Greg.
really?
That's
Never met
got to
him.
be a record.
Did I work with him with the magazines at all?
Nah, he's
No?
always been just a
Okay.
specialty guy, IDP,
Yeah.
special teams.
Okay. Okay.
He's actually a professional cameraman, and he shoots games,
Okay.
college football too. So hey, the eye in the sky don't lie. So he's up there, Tom Simons, and
Yeah,
up there in
absolutely.
the perch,
Yeah.
seeing the coaches tape basically happen in real time.
Nice. Nice.
Like,
All
do
right.
I
Now I'm looking at your
go-
roster. You got great synergy. You've got 5 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 2 quarterbacks, and 2 tight ends. That's synergy.
Didn't I say I loved synergy?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got it right now. Don't make any more picks. You got 5, 5, 2, and 2.
I was gonna take Brian Edwards, but he just went, didn't he? Right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yep. Team 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this guy's a pain in the ass, but he's gonna have a great opportunity. I'll take a shot here. As
Oh,
my
there you go.
6.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've been on the Callaway thing forever.
Yeah. Yeah. He went 2.5 rounds before Traquan, and Traquan should be the number 1. We did have a Saints beat writer on our show last night, and he did say he thought Callaway was going to be the number 1 guy. He just said he
Wow.
looks outstanding right now. He's going to put up better numbers. He was really impressed with Callaway's.
Yeah, no, I know. When the Michael Thomas news came out, what was it? It was at night, and I had just made a pick in our Fantasy Points Dynasty rookie free agent draft. I took Callaway.
Yeah.
And then the Thomas news came. I'm like, oh, baby,
Yeah.
I mean, that was luck right there.
Yeah.
But I did take him knowing that the guy is going to have a huge role, and he's pretty damn good last year.
I think Traquan Smith right now, that's a very good pick. I really do. I mean, come on. He's one of the top 2 guys in this offense right now. They're going to have to throw the ball. Some, obviously. I mean, Kamara's going to get more.
I think Jameis has a thing with him.
Yeah.
Remember last year, Jameis came in and threw that long tutty?
Mm-hmm.
That was to Traquan.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big play wide receiver. We need to be more consistent now going forward. But
I'll give you a tip, Greg. Real sorry to cut you off. I'll give you a tip for a player I will not take. But he's come on the show, a very serious young man. But I talked to someone who was at Packers camp yesterday, and this person said that on and off the air, everyone with the team, they couldn't stop praising MVS.
Oh, really?
Yep. Like, pretty big buzz.
I like it. I mean, he's
talented.
He's become a much better receiver. He still just runs the go routes pretty much, but he does. Last year, he improved by 100% from the year before. I was at the Buffalo game his rookie year when he was supposed to run an out, and he ran the wrong pattern, and it almost ended up in an interception. It was not. And Rodgers chewed him out for the rest of the half, and he did not throw to him one more time.
I bet.
He's come to trust him more, but those first 2 years, he did not trust MVS to run the right routes.
Totally.
And
that's a kiss of death.
It is. For a veteran quarterback like that, you're not getting on his good side until you prove it over and over again. But no,
my guy Jay Sternberger never got there, man.
He never got there. He did not. He got hurt last year with the concussion in practice, and he just has not been able to do it. And his hands have not been good. He's dropped a lot of balls in practice and in games.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
He's got great size.
He's a great kid, by the way. I love that kid. Grew up an Eagles fan, oddly enough, and loved Zach Ertz. But I absolutely was a really big fan of the dude. But man, his tape was really good, man.
Wow. I told you, I saw him at the first practice I went to. I'm like, who is that guy? I mean, he was as big as Jimmy Graham was almost. I just thought, man, they've got themselves a couple of big tight ends here. This is going to be perfect for Rodgers. And he just never panned out.
The first name that came to my head when I watched him at A&M was Kelsey.
Yeah.
I mean, he lined up X receiver.
Yeah.
Ran routes against won. I mean, he led them in everything. touchdowns, yards, catches. Kellen Mond was the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that was 3 years ago. And
Yeah.
Kellen Mond, I thought was terrible. But despite that, he was good. I think he averaged 17 yards a catch. I guess it's not over, but
No, it's not. No, he's still in camp and they still like him a lot, but he has not been consistent at all. His hands have not been consistent either, which is surprising. All right.
oh,
Team
see,
one.
I didn't even. Yeah, I actually had not heard anything about him.
Yeah.
So-
No, he's still in camp and he's still like their third tight end or whatever, but
He's not usurping Bobby T.
no, he's not, definitely. Team one, I want to go back to. He waited on the QBs. He's got Cousins and Wentz. Interesting on the Wentz pick there.
It's a little scary. Oh man, Team 6 just absolutely just crushed me with my number one defense, the Miami damn Dolphins.
Really?
Well, not number one overall, but my best
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
My favorite pick. Now I've gotten it right, I think 2 years in a row. Last year was Tampa. The year before that, I was so in on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Ah, boy. Well, Bills are tempting. They are tempting, but
There's a defense run, so you might as well jump in when you can.
oh, I'm definitely taking the defense here. Let's see here. The Bills and Patriot. I'm gonna go Patriots.
Ah,
I like
Okay.
them.
yeah. I mean, now they got everybody back. Like you say, if Gilmore is there, that could be a shutdown top 5 defense.
Now, what do we get in points allowed for in this league? Anything?
Yeah. We got a breakdown. I can't remember how many points it is between 0 and 6. I mean, you get a lot for 10 points for a shutout. Then
Yeah,
it's
there
1
you
to
go.
6.
All right.
So
See
Yeah.
that now? I broke the cardinal rule. I should know my scoring.
yeah. You get
But how
points
many
for.
people? How many people really look into the every nuance of the scoring?
I hope that most of our high stakes guys do, but many times I get people who, after they're done with their drafting, go, "How many people do we start again?" I'm like, "You just put 350 down. You don't know the starters, you know."
Yeah.
So people, there is still a good percentage of even high stakes players who are doing this for a lot of fun. You know, it's a good diversion for everybody.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment. Yep.
You know, and let's be honest. People watching this live stream, people subscribing, people that you know, most of them have disposable income. And
Absolutely.
they
Yeah.
choose to dispose it in this fashion. And we dig
Absolutely.
that about them.
No, I mean, it's 17 weeks of enjoyment. It really is. And, we talk about it in baseball too. You know, some people say, wow, how do people pay that much? Listen, it's 27-week season. It's great entertainment for people. And at the end of the day, you can win some money or you can just have good entertainment. So
How much you watching baseball this year?
very, very little, although my Brewers are doing very well. But, John, 1989, I started Fantasy Baseball Magazine, and I've been a baseball guy. I've been known for it. ESPN, I was starting to write in 95, 96. Baseball, the sport, is just boring right now. I mean, and football can't come soon enough for me.
Yeah.
So
That's right, Greg. You and I,
Yep.
right here, the first fantasy sports writers on ESPN.com, right here.
I started doing it with basketball and baseball. You started with football, and we interlapped in that off season there. So we can be 1 and 1A. It doesn't matter who the 1 is and who the 1A is.
I've said that you were probably before me, but it was probably not football.
Right.
So
That's
why?
what I mean.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. Why would they ask you
Yeah.
to do football while it was baseball season and you were doing baseball?
Right.
You
No,
know,
I
so
was
that's-
definitely doing basketball as the first sport they asked me to write, to be truthful. Oh, we're just talking about anti-vaxxers, and then you take cold beans.
I'll take an anti-vaxxer around 17, though.
Close contacts? I mean, it's going to happen. You know it is with Cole.
It's around 17. He's my 7th receiver. What did he catch last year? 80 balls?
You're going to have a separate meeting room with him on your team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, is he
I
married?
like the production last year. I like it. I like him in that role. I hope he hasn't turned off the Bills so much that they end up cutting him. That's my only concern.
Yeah. Well, Allen, we don't know about Allen.
Yeah.
Allen might
That's
be right there with him.
That is true. He hasn't said. You're right. All right, MVS went after you. So you were just talking about MVS. Then you took Cole Beasley ahead of him.
I just came up with a new strategy.
What's that?
Take advantage of the suppressed values of anti-vaxxers like Cole Beasley, who I just got. I mean, the guy caught freaking 82 balls last year, and I got him in the 17th round.
Yeah. That's because he's an anti-vaxxer. That's why you got him so cheap. You better talk about that on the show tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah. It's a new strategy point. I'm going to, hey, Ben Kukanis, go hurry up. I want you to buy the domain draftantivaxxers.com. Damn,
spell
cyber
vaxxers
squatters
differently. Use 1X maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Anti-vaxxers.
Right. You know, the old fat finger website, and then people reserve sites similar like Amazon.com for the fat finger people. How sad is that?
Right.
Now, Greg, would you recommend? Well, never mind. I don't want to tip any hand here.
Okay.
It's a tough room.
So, John, we made it through 17 rounds. It's an hour and 10 minutes. Again, this is $350 per team. This is $200,000 grand prize, $1,500 league prize. And you guys are just cruising like we're just having a fun time and putting the board up on for tomorrow's radio show or something. I mean,
yeah, it's unbelievable.
It is. It's fun. It's quick. We'll get this done in less than an hour and a half, and really good competition. I mean, there isn't a team here where I'm going, what was he thinking? I mean, everyone, really solid group. So I appreciate you doing this with us, but this has been a lot of fun, and this is a really good group of guys, it looks like.
No doubt. Yeah. And, you know, I try and give you guys as much love as I can. I've known Greg and Tom Kesenick now. Greg, how long? So when we worked for ESPN, we didn't really know each other then.
No, we didn't. I mean, you and I, of course, we started talking when we were doing the magazines together. I had known of you before, and I ran the trade conferences starting in 2000, but I'm older than you, and I started in this industry in 89, and it's just unbelievable to see how this has grown. And again, I made my name in baseball. I mean, I was really a baseball guy from Fantasy Baseball Magazine, labor auctions with USA Today.
I just realized when I saw that you were on ESPN, I'm sure I'm thinking, who the hell's this guy? Screw this guy.
Well, of course, nobody knew who I was. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I mean, Ron Chandler and I talk about this all the time. Ron was out there putting out dollar values and rankings before anybody else. I was doing the same thing in Wisconsin. Our baseball stuff would come out in the middle of December before anybody else.
Wow.
And we didn't know if we were right, wrong, or whatever. Same with you, John. You were doing football when baseball was king, right? I mean, fantasy baseball was king. People forget that, but fantasy baseball was king until the 94 strike. And from that point on, it's been fantasy football king ever since.
Yep. By the way, this reminded me of, I think I've told you this story, but how Adam Kaplan and I met. I was doing this little TV show in New Jersey I always say it was Wayne's World meets Howard Stern. It was our big sponsor it's a place called Delilah's Den, which was the gentleman's club in the area.
Ah, nice.
Here, I'm going to make a pick here real quick. Little Buffalo Bill, little Tyler Bass. That is our number one kicker. So, anyway, Kaplan saw the show and he says the story, like, he was like, who is this guy? Like, who does he think he is? Like, you know, he was like mad. I don't know why he would be mad, but here's the thing. Why he was mad is I had the tight end Keith Jackson on the show.
Oh yeah.
This is the summer. Nice. It's like July. It's like early mid-July, right? He was a free agent. And then he announced on the show that he was signed with the Packers.
Really? Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
It was, of course, no one knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't get that information out there.
Yeah, right.
I was going to send an email, you know, hey, Keith Jackson just told me he signed with the Packers.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, then they won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, that was crazy. That's one of the craziest stories of all time.
So then how'd you meet Adam then? Did he contact you or what?
Well, then his his nephew Sam Kaplan was in
Yep.
the industry business.
Yep. Right. With
So
Fanball.
Adam started doing work with him, and
Yeah.
he's like, "That's that guy," because
Yeah.
we're all from the same area.
Yeah.
I was down the shore area; they were in right in Philly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I guess a couple years later, he didn't tell me right away. He was like, "Yeah, I saw you on TV," and I was like, "I hated you." And
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. I mean, Adam, he did me one. I met him at the 2000 trade conference in Chicago, and he came up to me and he said he had been doing the ESPN radio show with Jim Arute, and he wasn't or
Jackaroo.
Jackaroo, excuse me, Jackaroo,
Yeah. I did,
and
the
he
same
wasn't going to
show.
do it anymore, and he wanted to know if I would do it. I'm like, hell yeah, I would do that. It was every Sunday night, and so he told Jack, and he had me on there, and I was on with Jack for 2 or 3 years, and that was because Adam recommended me.
Well, it's funny. I did the same damn thing.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was before or after Jackaroo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jack was a great guy. He was really good. I mean, he used to be on ABC, I remember.
Oh, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Really interesting guy, but he didn't really know much about fantasy. His questions were a little
right.
tough.
No, right.
Like, but hey, that still happens to people in 2021.
Yeah. No, you're right, because when you go on his show, you didn't know what question he would ask you because he didn't really know fantasy all that much.
So I started just feeding him. Hey, here's what you ask me.
Yeah, that's what I like to do as well. So
wow, look at there's a couple, like there's one quarterback who didn't get drafted. I was like, wow. Well, I guess it's not a 2-quarterback league.
No, not really. Yeah. I mean, right now, again, you still want as much depth as possible. Whether it's running back or wide receiver, a lot of guys will go 7 and 7 with those positions.
Yeah,
you got 5 running backs.
Yeah, I got only one more pick.
And you got seven wide receivers. Well, I mean, at this point, the running back you pick up might be a guy you'd get in week 1 fab anyways. So
well, yeah, that was going to say. Like,
right.
I kind of, one thing I'm doing this year is if I'm not strong at running back after 8 rounds, I'm like, I'm oh well.
Right.
Like, why
right.
reach? I mean, you're going to make a problem worse.
Correct. You might reach right now, and that's the guy you have to cut anyways when you want to pick somebody up. So
yeah,
Jake Funk did go in round 18, though. Interesting to see how Jake Funk does.
Yeah, well, Kaplan said that Kaplan met him a couple days ago. Said he's a great dude.
Yeah,
and he's very explosive as advertised. He's a spark guy, athletic guy.
Yeah,
going to be a role player only though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted him to do well so I could say, let's talk about the Funk.
Absolutely. All right. Well, again, John, I want to thank you for doing this. This has been a lot of fun, and I love working with Fantasy Points. I think we make a good partnership here. So thanks again. Thanks to all your writers for doing this on Thursday night. Ben, thank you for doing these live streams this year. It's been a lot of fun. We're both going to be in our busy time going forward, but thanks much for all you guys have done with us.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Thank you, Greg, for hanging in here. I would say for taking up your whole evening, but it was really only an hour and 20 minutes.
Absolutely. No, this went really, really quick, and it was fun to talk through it all. And I like your team. Now go win that $200,000. All right. And just so everybody knows, we're doing something really special this year at the NFFC. We're doing a couple of leagues with Mike the Miz, WWE champion, Kofi Kingston, James Rodet, where if those guys win any money, they're all going to give it to the V Foundation, up to $200,000. So keep an eye on that. I think we're doing a good cause there with that one.
Oh yeah, no, Mike the Miz, I know him pretty well. He's a great dude, man. He really is.
He really is.
I like to tease him because he plays the heel.
Yeah.
I like to expose him that he's a warm, caring, loving man.
Yep.
As a joke.
Yep.
But it is kind of true. I love me some Mike the Miz.
Oh, absolutely. He is. And he's such a passionate Cleveland fan. It's unbelievable. So
he's a big guru in the morning guy. I can tell you that.
Well, he's drafting live on Sirius XM August 27th, I think, on Fabiano's show at 8:00 Eastern time. So tune in for that.
Yep. Yeah. And we'll, anything else you guys want to, you got going on here, we'll help you promote it. But of course we love Greg and Tom, the NFFC. So you can't buy too many teams, basically, right?
That's exactly what I would have said. I love it.
That's a pretty good tagline right there. The NFFC, You can't buy too many teams.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm on the clock here now. What do you think about a third quarterback before I let you go here? Is it
I would not.
overkill?
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd
Denzel
take a dart
Mims
throw at this is a pick that you're probably going to cut anyways, but I'd take a dart throw on a wide receiver or running back.
Yeah, I was actually looking at Jamar Jefferson for Swift. I know that's a long shot. I can't go Mims. But
5, 4, 3.
Throw it.
Okay,
I'll just take this rando.
Actually, all right. Well, thanks much, John. Appreciate it, man.
You got it, Greg. Good stuff there.
All right.
That's Greg Ambrosius of the NFFC. I just took the Amy Brown. Been busy doing this draft. That last pick wasn't optimal, but I think we're good. Great job by everyone in this draft room. 922. We started at 805. That's unbelievable. 20 round high stakes draft. Thanks to everybody for playing and trying to kick my ass. Basically, I'm going to review this on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio tomorrow, 7 to 10 Eastern. Not even sure who I'm working with. I don't even know if it's Mr. C. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. We thank our guy, Ben Kukanis. This will be a wrap right here. Another live stream here, and stay tuned to the channel and the site and all that. We're going to be doing more of these. And by the way, if you're still watching, we're going to start doing some actual content live streams here, waiting for that first preseason game. But we're going to be checking in a lot live stream, chopping it up, hopefully helping you dominate your league and your draft and, kick ass and all that good stuff here. So that'll wrap it up. I'm John Hansen. Thanks again, Ben Kukanis. We will catch you next time at fantasypoints.com.